everyone, and welcome to this new video of the LEXIT Founders Series. Today we have yet another top blockchain entrepreneur, Chris Housser, litigation lawyer by trade and involved in the blockchain space in 2013. But only last year, Chris took the leap and co-founded Polymath. Thank you so much for joining us today, Chris.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So maybe as an introduction, you'd like to say a few words on Polymath. What is actually Polymath?
Yeah, Polymath, really what it is you've probably seen recently that the SEC and other regulators are starting to clamper down and say a lot of tokens are in fact securities. They're avoiding regulations. And what Polymath is, it's a platform to help companies that want to issue securities and follow regulations and stay compliant. It's a suite of tools to allow them to create their tokens that are then able to be restricted and only able to be held by authorized participants. So it makes both the legal process and the tech process a lot cheaper, a lot faster, and a lot easier for businesses to launch compliant security tokens.
All right. And so I believe that you've recently released Polymath version 2 on testnet. Congratulations. So now what is going to be the next milestone? What is Polymath going to accomplish next?
Yeah, version 2 was put out on testnet last week at Consensus in New York. And we're working with the community to continue iterating and building new modules and improvements for the platform. And it's not just us at Polymath, but it's the whole community that's able to create new standards, to create new modules for our system. And I say our system, it's the blockchain system. But coming up next is we're creating this ST20 standard. Security Tokens 2.0 is what it stands for. It's similar to ERC20, however, baked into it is those added restrictions that I mentioned earlier. So now only authorized investors or participants are able to hold the particular security token. So if you're required to be accredited, this ST20 standard will check to make sure that yes, you are accredited and yes, you're from a country that's allowed to hold that security. And we'd like to work with exchanges, regulators, issuers, and investors to really push this standard forward so everyone starts using this ST20 standard when they're creating their security tokens.
Okay, great. Well, congratulations. And I think we are going to stay in this topic of ownership of companies in this video. So as you know, this video is part of the LEXIT Founders Series. So for those who aren't familiar with the company, the aim of LEXIT is to create this marketplace for M&A, mergers and acquisitions, and IP, intellectual property. So it's basically creating a sort of Airbnb where you can sell your company or parts of your company, or even buy or IP or patents or whatever you can think of. But also you can find all the help you need from experts and all the people who are going to accompany you in the process of buying or selling your company. So I think actually Polymath is in the process of buying part of the Barbados Stock Exchange, right? Why is this relevant for Polymath to buy this portion of a stock exchange?
Yeah, it was a really exciting opportunity that came about late last fall. Our close friend, partner, and colleague, Gabriel Abed, who's been in the space since even before myself, I think he was in back in 2011 or 2012. He's a Barbados local. He's very well connected in the space and he knows Polymath very well. He's been working with us for some time. And he let us know of this opportunity to purchase a stake in the Barbados Stock Exchange. And we got excited about that. And I think really what we're looking to do is help create a crypto arm on that stock exchange. So not only can you invest in traditional listings, you can also invest in security tokens as part of that exchange as well. And it's really exciting, and it's something we hope can help grow the Barbados economy, create jobs, and really create some added liquidity for these security tokens that will be created on the Polymath platform.
All right, I think it's a very noble reason to enter such a process. And so, as I was saying before, LEXIT is trying to make this process easier. Do you think right now it's an easy process? When did you start trying to acquire this, and how has it worked so far?
Yeah, it was late last fall. I think it was November, December that the opportunity was made available to us, and it has been a long process. There's been negotiations, financial documents that have needed to be assessed, meetings with the Barbados Stock Exchange and their key players. It has definitely taken a while. We're at month 5 or 6 right now in the process. I'm hoping it will be closed soon. But something like LEXIT, yes, could speed up this process and make it faster for companies to make this sort of acquisition. The one worrisome part about it is I think it was sort of an exclusive opportunity. We were one of the few parties who were made aware of it. And if it was on LEXIT and there was a number of other parties, that would be great for the seller. I'm not so sure it would be as good for the buyer in terms of negotiations.
Yeah, indeed. I think in a scenario like this, what Lexi could have done is to make the information more available for a larger pool of people, and then would have made the competition a bit more intense. But
Certainly.
also, I think so. You said that you had a lot of steps, financial, etc. So I think you needed to hire external help, lawyers, financial advisors, M&A specialists, etc. Did you have to collaborate with a lot of external people for this process?
Yeah, external, or there are Barbados counsel, so we used our legal team there to walk through the process, and it definitely did take some time. And there were some external parties as well that we had to search and refer to figure out if this price is a good deal, and how do the numbers add up, and what is a fair valuation for this purchase.
Mhm. So basically, outside of course, having the ability to purchase the product we're talking about, you have to also have the ability to be well connected to find the offer, and also to be able to pay for all the services that are going to be external to this deal. So it's actually pretty restrictive in terms of how many people can take part in such a deal.
There's definitely a lot of parties involved, and even now we've had board approval to buy the shares. We're awaiting a shareholder vote, and yeah, there's just a number of parties, and you have to speak with them and explain why Polymath and why it makes sense for us to be a shareholder in that exchange. And working again with all these external parties to help pool that information together so everyone understands what it is that's at stake.
Mhm. Mhm. Indeed. So do you think, I think you've answered this already, but so a platform like Lexit would really make something like this easier. Is there any chance, I think you know the Lexit team, I think you know Amir, the CEO of Lexit. What do you think of this project, the team, the people who are leading it?
Yeah, since Polymath started early last year, we've been going to a number of conferences. We've made a lot of connections in the space, and one of those people that I frequently run into, in fact, I saw him last week at Consensus, was Amir. And Amir's a great guy. Every time we see each other, we talk business, we talk blockchain, we talk about how we can help promote the space and create a better environment for all those involved. And yeah, it's always a pleasure when I run into Amir and just get to have a sit down talk with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that you kind of share this vision and the same will to make the sector more navigable for the entrepreneurs who are in it, to make it more efficient in a sense. Maybe, you know, before we close this interview, you'd like to say a few words maybe on the direction that the crypto economy is going to take in the future?
Sure, yeah. So the crypto economy, as you're probably aware, is prices go up and down, and I think right now it's at about $350 billion is the total market cap, and that's for mostly utility tokens and protocol coins, and it's very, very small fraction of that is represented by self-identified security tokens. I'd say under half a percent is security tokens. And going forward, starting later this year into 2019 and 2020, I see security tokens really starting to overtake that market cap. And you have one large company, one sovereign wealth fund decides to tokenize, and that could then start to dwarf the utility token market cap. So going into 2020, I see the security token market cap being significantly larger than the utility token market cap that we see today.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, thank you very much, Chris, for taking part of this interview. And thanks to our viewers for watching this episode of the LEXIT Founders Series. Join us for our next video. Goodbye.